Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are making some really good trades. And let's dive right into the analysis as the markets surge today. Another all-time high from the SPY, triple Qs, Dow Jones, not so much, obviously. And then the IWM, a nice little recovery here and a bounce with divergence. Really following up with that one. But overall, the markets continue to churn higher. We continue to be long. We are long the Dow Jones. We are long the triple Qs and the IWM. And right now, obviously the best one is probably the IWM as it continues to surge higher and higher and higher. And it looks like it is erasing multiple divergences here. So this could very well just continue to push on. And it's just why I was talking about that it's not the time to short, in my opinion, on this dip. And I saw a lot of bearish YouTubers hop on the train, and this was a dip buy for us, and rightfully so, because we are profiting greatly from this. And I think we have higher to go before ultimately we find the top in this market. And I understand the bear thesis. I've talked about this many times. I'm not going to get into it here. You can look at previous videos. But let's continue on and let's take a look at our indicators here. So market cipher, minus 516 on the dual band strength index on the 4-hour, the daily time frame. You have a 7 and a 1. But it's when I take a look at the other candle. Oh, is it the other candles? No, it's not the other candles. Maybe I was looking at another chart. Maybe it was the triple Qs. Oh, wow, look at that. The triple Qs have a 4 and a 4, but ultimately, it's going to have another bullish candle here once it prints a new one tomorrow, in my opinion. And I think we're just going to continue to churn higher. We got over the CPI and the PPI and the Fed's bearish, announcements. And I think bad economic news is going to continue to drive this market higher. It's going to push the yields lower, and it's going to push the dollar lower as well. So I think ultimately what you want to be is long the indices, but again, it's not financial advice. Do what you want with your money. The way I'm managing the portfolio is working out quite well right now. So let's continue to ride this wave until we really see a topping signal in the market and a pullback. This market will give you an opportunity to get out. It's gonna pull back in a 1, and then it will bounce in a 2, and that's when you want to short, right? But just not yet, right? These dips are too shallow. They're getting bought up like no tomorrow. All right, let's dive into some more analysis here on Apple and NVDA. So Apple pushing higher, like I called. I think we're gonna make another high here in the 5th wave, and I think you're gonna create divergence. But if it erases divergence, you'll just extend to wave 3, like it's doing on NVIDIA, right? We'll take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, the target here, which funny enough, I adjusted it for the new wave 3, and we tagged the target, and then we start pull back right away. But I think that this is just another dip buy here coming for NVIDIA. Maybe if it pulls back to its 20-day, you have a long entry at 125. But ultimately, when you take a look at the SMH, the semiconductor, VanEck Semiconductors, it just continues to make all-time highs here. And I believe, did you just erase divergence today again? Did we? Let's just take a look. Okay, not yet, but we're pretty darn close to that. And the trend is super strong. So we'll have to see if this continues to push up. And if it is, then you don't want to. When the semis are strong, there's nothing wrong. When the semis fail, you better bail. And the semis are not failing right now; they're rallying. All right, let me continue. I'll take a look at the IWM. I actually wanted to talk about that beforehand. So the IWM looks like it's finishing its pullback here in an ABC of a WXY, and I think right now we have a really good shot of continuing to push higher. I want to see more follow through tomorrow. But if the low is in, we're going to start to surge pretty dramatically inside of a wave 3. Maybe we'll get really bad core retail sales and retail sales month over month numbers, and maybe industrial production. Well, who knows what's going to be the economic number that's going to drive the yields much lower. And then ultimately, you'll see the small caps start to rally preemptively of rate cuts. Maybe they're going to say, oh, we might, the data's shifting, we're going to cut sooner. then the small caps are gonna love it, right? And that's what I'm betting on, because I'm betting that this administration has been doing the wrong thing since the beginning, and they're going to continue to do the wrong thing, and they're politically out of time, and now we're going to get a nice little rally, right? So yeah, that's basically it. Let me continue, and I'll take a look at some more stocks here. So I know some members wanted me to take a look at SMCI. So SMCI, we talked about this possibly being another 1-2 setup, and it's right now it's in its decision point, right? It's in a decision moment. We can take a look at SMCI on Market Cipher, and you got a nice little green dot. You got red money flow. You're up in the after hours. The semis are strong right now, so it's kind of a tough call. But the 4 hour is showing that we're coming out of this red money flow here. So you may have a big rally coming in for SMCI, and this could easily continue higher. And I know what is fundamentally changed in this company that should warrant a higher valuation, right? Of let me see, what's the market cap here? 51 billion. What would warrant $100 billion market cap? I have no idea, but that's what the market's emotions will do, and they'll continue to push stocks higher, right? Okay, let me continue, and I'll take a look here at Tesla. So Tesla, a beautiful reaction today. So like I said in my previous videos, looks like the low is in, another 1-2 setup. Now we're impulsing out in a pretty dramatic fashion. 5% update in Tesla. Really beautiful move. So again, if you guys were following me, you would have had a beautiful entry right at these levels here. I mean, I really, to be honest, I entered and I'd just been holding throughout this whole chop. So it's not to say that like I called this low right here. I've just been holding throughout this whole thing right around this level, and I'm just benefiting from the rally from just holding, but I was just tracking the 1-2 setup. So again, this is just rallying up, and I think we got higher to go in Tesla. And we're coming up to that announcement, right? The robotaxi announcement. So maybe that'll be another catalyst for this stock to go higher. Let's continue on here. Let's take a look at some ones that we don't cover as much. Let's see here. PayPal. So PayPal Mara. Why not? We'll cover PayPal Mara. So let me find PayPal first. So PayPal. Wow. Okay. So PayPal is actually pulling back a little bit deeper here, and putting in a lower C leg. Okay. So this changes the correction up a little bit. So I said a 1-2 setup, and doesn't look like it's playing out at all. It looks like it's going deeper for a deeper correction. So let me just take a look here if we got divergence. Okay, now we don't have divergence, but I actually do like the fact that we're making a lower low, right? So now we could actually make this maybe an ABC or WXY, or it's a flat, right? So regardless, I think this is still the buy area for PayPal. And I'll take a look at Market Cipher. Why not? Do a little bit of extra work for PayPal. Look at the 4 hour. Okay, if you have bullish divergence here, that'll be a nice little entry. Nice little entry here. If we can get it at 60, or maybe a little bit lower, maybe 59, 58, if it dips down. But ultimately, once I see a green dot, if I see a green dot on PayPal, I'm going to enter. This is a trade that I would like to take. This is a trade I would like to take because you got a nice little trigger wave on the 4 hour. And ultimately, I think that this correction is over. You've seen big red money flow recovering, right? So it's almost out of its rut here, and I think it's gearing up for a big move higher. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong. You know, I can be wrong all the time. I'm not perfect, right? Obviously, you can see 1-2 setup failed, so you just gotta play. You gotta play along. You just gotta go with it. All right, Mara. So Mara either is Mara and Bitcoin is a little bit of a tough trade right now. I didn't like the way it finished its low here at 65,000. I still think that it could be a nice short opportunity for it to go lower. But if the market wants to rally super bullish, you know, maybe Bitcoin doesn't get this dip. But we'll have to see. You know, we kind of got to be patient with it. I wouldn't be surprised though to see it impulse out. But again, I'm not in a trade on Mara or anything, so that's why I'm not too focused on it. But I'd like to see one more low in the cryptos, and it's going to be a strong dip buy opportunity for me and my members. Okay, let's cover a few other things here. We'll talk about gold and silver. So I saw some people asking about gold and silver. So gold and silver are kind of in this wave 4 here, this correction mode. It's going to be boring, right? Not much is happening. I think maybe we need one more low, and then that's going to shake people out before a big reversal. But you know, it could be already done here. When you look at the DXY, I think this could have ended last week, and today, you know, maybe marked kind of the high here. We're kind of retesting resistance. So if the dollar breaks back down, sorry, excuse me, it's going to be that wave 3 moment that we've been waiting for, and that's going to drive gold and silver much higher. So I'd be bullish gold and silver right now. So I'm long gold. I don't have any longs on silver other than silver miners, but maybe we'll get into a leverage gold play. Leverage silver play as well. Okay, let's talk about this big push up in oil here. Oil's back up to $80, right? Got a downsloping trend line. You know, you could put it here, you could put it there, but I put it there. And now you got these 3 pivots, and now you're breaking out. So is my count wrong, right? So another example of me being wrong. If this is really the low and this is a more complex correction, a 1-2, then this is going to go much higher, right? Oil is going to go much higher. But what I'm willing to bet is that we're seeing a nice little rally here in oil, but I think it's going to fail and we're going to get a big drop down because, you know, you got to look at the Trump administration. They're going to win, right? In my opinion, I think the Trump administration is going to beat the Biden administration. And if oil, you know, if Trump gets back in office, you know, he's going to flood the market with oil. He's going to open up drilling, fracking, all that stuff. It's going to go crazy. Energy is going to perform really well, but you're also going to see the market oversaturated with oil, and eventually you're going to see the price come back down, and maybe preemptively, right, before the elections, right? Because I think they're in November, so it's going to be interesting to see. The polls are already favoring Trump right now. But anyways, I can't vote because I don't live in the U.S., so I'm just watching from the sidelines. So yeah, yields. Let's talk about TLT. So TLT continues to push up today. Down. My mistake, down. But ultimately, and just another 1-2, right? Another buy the dip. So I think TLT's got higher to go. Ultimately, I think the yields are going lower. Yeah, that's it. It's pretty straightforward. I'm in my position. I'm comfortable. I entered weeks and months ago. If you guys were following me, you know, looking for this to be the low. Looks like it was, and then we impulsed out, and this was another dip buy, and it was scary, right? Because oh my god, what's happening? You know, and then it was another dip buy opportunity, and then we rallied higher. So I think we're impulsing out in this 3-3, very bullish for the bonds. Let me see, what else do we got here? So I already did a GameStop video, but the GameStop will fall into the small cap sector, in my opinion, where we would get a nice little rally. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much else to cover. If you guys want me to cover other stocks, right, or names that you like, just leave them in the description, and I'll cover it for you, or I'll do as much as I can. If there's too many people, what can I do? All right, have a wonderful night, guys, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow after market close. Peace.